Hi, Sarika here again, and I thought I would do a little series on professional looking natural hairstyles. And the reason is because I work in corporate America, so it is important that I keep my hair looking neat and kempt and tidy and done, whatever that means. So the last video that I did showed the twist, and these are those very same twists that I did, but they were all over my head before. So I took them out, so they are now a twist out in the back. And while I think that hairstyle, the one I did on the last video, this one, while I think that's perfectly appropriate, minus the Grecian-inspired headband, for the workplace, I think it's fine. I wanted several different ones, and this one that I'm going to show you in just a second is probably more in line with traditionally corporate because it's a bun. Well, sort of. Yeah, it's actually a 3-rolled bun. I got this idea from Felicia. She's a natural hairstylist, and she did one where the whole back of the head was in these rolls, and I think that might be a little bit too trendy for my particular work environment, but I think I can get away with this one. I think this one is more wearable. So I thought I would show you how I did this. Okay, so this is what I started with, which is I started with them all in these medium-sized twists, and then I took the twist out of the back so that I have a twist out. Next, I put on a headband, and I don't think I have an original, but these are just regular scrunchies. I don't like the ones that roll, that are rounded, because they tend to grab hair when I'm sliding them back into place, but I usually get the ones that are sort of flattened. They look like they were rounded and somebody smushed them like cookie ball dough. And then I tie a knot and I cut it to the length that I need at the time. I usually do a better job than this, but you can see clearly where I have had several trials at what size was needed, and these work really well for me to just kind of customize them to the size I need. And as you can see, this one's pretty old and there's no hair trapped in the knot, which I think most people would assume happens. I haven't had that happen yet. And that's the seam from the manufacturer, and usually that's where I make the knot so that that seam isn't coming in contact with my hair, but I forgot. So anywho, I'm going to start with a puff. That's all in there. And the next thing is I'm just going to take 5 or 6 bobby pins, some big, some small, and I'm going to start at the top. I want this section to be biggest, medium, and then small, so that the size appears largest, and then it's more narrow, and the size of the entire hump, I guess, is a little bit thinner, and then very thin and very narrow, so that mine makes a V shape. You can, of course, do this however you want. You can make them perfectly even so that all 3 are the same size, but I like the gradient effect of having the biggest one at the top. Okay, so this is my Okay, so I've got my section ready, and I'm just going to take my fingers and make scissors, and then I'm going to put my fingers on the ends of the hair and roll. The other hand is just kind of smoothing and collecting up the hair, and I'm going to go until my wrist won't go anymore. I'm going to pull my finger out, and then I'm just going to keep that shape. as I roll down. And I'm going to use 2 small bobby pins, one on this side, right along the bottom edge here. And then one on the other side. So they're nice and snug. And then I'm just going to repeat that same thing with a little bit more hair. I'll go back and get all the little pieces later. I'm going to repeat that same motion, keep just a little bit at the end, and use the scissor fingers. And then I'm going to just find all the little parts that didn't want to fit in. And if they don't fit at all in the back, just bring them around front. And tuck them into the front of your headband. It's called a headband. And the ends, same thing. You can just bring them around front and tuck them under the end of the rubber band, or headband, or whatever you call it. I don't know what that thing's called. And I like mine down on the sides and going higher as it goes toward the middle, as well as more wide at the top and then more narrow as it goes to the back, and then thicker at the top and then thinner progressively as it goes toward the end. And you just kind of want to obscure the rubber band. Of course I can't see, so I don't know if the rubber band's showing, but I have pictures at the end of what I like mine to look like. Okay. Alright, that is it. And I think this would work pretty well for my job at least, which can be a little stuffy, so I think it'll work well for anybody. Thanks for watching. Bye.